Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz, and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. Today we are making another quick and simple card for Father's Day, and I'm going to be using the Mama Elephant Me and My Yeti stamp set. I've used that quite a few times on this channel, but it is a nice big image that covers quite a bit of your card. But today I'm going to be doing it as a Bigfoot instead of the Yeti, which I've not done with this stamp set. I have done it with the MFT Beast Friends stamp set, and it looked really cute. Those ones are a little bit more, I guess, Bigfoot-esque, but it worked for this one too. It made like a really cute image, and as usual, I'm always putting this one with like either an ink blended circle behind it, or just a little bit of a fade, or in this case we're doing an actual die cut circle. So I die cut a circle in blue cardstock, and then I cut one in green cardstock, and then I used my new grassy border die from Studio Light to cut out just a little bit of grass, just so it looked like he was standing outside. And you're gonna see me here coloring the image. Originally I picked browns that were a little bit too light, and I wanted to use my Olos, but I don't have darker browns in my Olos right now because I'm trying to use up my Bianyo markers instead first. So you're gonna, again, see me color it. I left this in. I didn't want to edit it out. You can just see how you can change things as long as you're not going from dark to light, obviously, because you wouldn't be able to do that. You might be able to take away some of the color if you use a colorless blender and you did it too dark, but it would still probably not look as good. But here I'm like, okay, this image, I'm not loving it while I'm coloring it, but I'm just coloring it anyway just to see. It is pretty cute looking at it now, but maybe more so for a Yeti. Normally I do the Yetis in cool grays, and I'll do the face blue, kind of like the, I think it's 1964 Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer stop motion movie. And I like to do it that way generally. And it's very little coloring involved in everything, but because I was doing this as a Bigfoot, I did want it to be a little bit richer in the brown, so I am going over it. And I always start with my darkest marker and work my way to the lightest one. I only use two colors for the majority of the time. Sometimes I only use one depending on the area, but usually it's two. You can, because these markers layer, use the same marker and go over the same spot to create a little bit more depth, but it's very subtle. You'd have to go over it quite a few times in order to do that. So I just recommend having at least your standard ground color and then a shade darker for shadows. You can also use other colors for shadows, which I don't normally do, but you can do it that way. You could probably pick a purple or something and use that for the shadows, and then color the brown over top of it or something, maybe even a dark red would work. You'd have to kind of play around with the colors. I know there's color theory and whatnot behind that, but again, I've not really tried it. I have in drawings in the past used a purple shade to shade a Caucasian skin tone, and it looks nice because it just gives you that little bit of purple undertone that you kind of see sometimes in your skin with the veins and everything. So you could try doing it that way, but I just wanted to make this a darker brown. You'll also notice that I flicked some colors just to give it a bit more of a fur texture throughout. And right now I'm going to clean up the lines, and then I'm going to add little white lines just to give it a little bit more fur texture. And I do this with the white gel pen. It is a little stark, but once the white gel pen dries, you can go over it with an alcohol marker and it will color it slightly. It doesn't make it too dark, it stays pretty light, but I did go over with the same base brown over the entire thing again, and it just helped lighten up those colors, and it just helps make it look a little bit more natural. Now I'm adding my pre-made circle onto the card. I also ink blended around the bottom of the green I think with Lawn Fawn's Noble Fur ink, just to give it a little bit more depth and texture to the grass. And I did cut this on my brother's Scan and Cut. If you wanted to, you could definitely remove the horns for this. Either don't ink them when you're doing the image, mask them off when you're inking them, or if you want to stamp the whole image and then you can cut them off after. Like you can, if you have the die, use the die. If you have the Scan and Cut, use that. But then you can kind of like, don't color them, but trim them off, and then whatever like little bit of line is left there, you can just use your white gel pen to kind of like white out that area. It would look pretty cute, I think, without the horns, but I just kind of left them in because I was being lazy to do any of those techniques. So yeah, I would, maybe next time if I was to do this style again with making the Yeti into a Bigfoot, I would remove the horns and not add those. But anyway, it looks cute either way. I like this card. It's adorable. But I also put the circle on upside down. So always make sure that you open your card base before you actually start adhering things, and make sure it's in the correct orientation is my recommendation. I've done this quite a few times. I don't do it very often, and it's a quick and simple fix as well. You just kind of have to cut the front off and then glue it onto another card base in the correct direction. It's just a little bit of a waste of cardstock, obviously, but I just use the back half of the panel for stamping later anyway, so nothing gets wasted. It's just annoying when that happens, obviously. I'm also using this other sentiment from a Lawn Fawn set, and it says, "I love you this much," which originally I was going to put into a banner into his hands. But again, I didn't want to like cover up that image, and I was again being lazy. So I decided to stamp it underneath the circle. And then I'm just going to add some foam tape to this, and then I think this card is pretty much done. It's, again, a quick and simple card, cute for Father's Day. I am going to stamp a Happy Father's Day on the inside of this one, just so it is specifically for Father's Day. Sometimes I don't do that so that I could flip this card to being something else. I could always make it into a birthday card, you know, a just because card, whatever. But I did end up stamping Happy Father's Day in this one, so this one is specifically for Father's Day. And I'll just throw this in with my stash. Oh, I also colored the border on this one to help blend it into the background a little bit. I don't know if I like it before or after. Maybe it was better before with the white background. You guys let me know what you think, but I think maybe the white background was the better choice for this. It just helps bring in that white from the outside into the center of the card, whereas now I'm covering it up. But, you know, either way, I like it, but sometimes it's better just to leave it alone. And then here I am using Lawn Fawn's Happy, Happy, Happy stamp set to stamp the Happy Father's Day on the inside. But that's pretty much our card for today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and let me know what your thoughts are. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content. I'll be back again on Tuesday for a bonus video and a potential new mini-series. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned, and we'll find out. So until next time, guys, I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.